You know what I realized the other day? Sometimes the signs that your best chapter is about to begin are so subtle that we miss them entirely. I was sitting in this cafe having coffee with a friend, and we were talking about those moments when you feel like you're on the brink of something big, even if everything around you seems ordinary. Here's the thing. Life has this funny way of giving you hints that change is coming, but they rarely come with flashing neon signs. I was talking to this leader the other day, someone who's been through countless business cycles, and she said something that really stuck with me. You know, she said, every time I felt like I was at a standstill, it was actually the calm before a breakthrough. And it hit me. We often mistake stillness for stagnation, but what if it's actually a sign that something incredible is about to unfold? It's funny because I used to think that if you weren't constantly moving forward, you were falling behind. But here's what most people miss. Sometimes the pause is where the magic happens. I remember this moment when I was working on my first book. I was stuck, feeling like I had nothing left to say. Then something shifted. I took a step back, gave myself some grace, and suddenly ideas started flowing again. That stillness was the space I needed to let creativity in. But you know what's crazy? There's this fascinating study where scientists discovered that our brains are more active when we're at rest than when we're focused on a task. It's called the default mode network, and it blew my mind. It turns out that during those quiet moments, our brains are making connections and solving problems we didn't even know we had. This isn't just downtime, it's incubation time for your next big idea. And speaking of which, I used to believe that success required relentless hustle. Embarrassingly, I used to pride myself on how busy I was. But then I met this CEO who challenged my thinking entirely. He said, the leaders who get this don't chase busyness. They create space for growth. What if we all started valuing that space instead of filling every moment with noise? I'll never forget what he said next. The most successful people I've met are those who listen more than they speak. It was a humbling reminder that sometimes the best chapters begin not with grand gestures, but with quiet listening and reflection. Here's what's interesting. When you're on the brink of a new chapter, you'll often notice a shift in your relationships. Maybe you start connecting with people who inspire you, or distance yourself from those who don't. This reminds me of a time when I was feeling stuck in my career. And out of nowhere, I met someone who completely changed my perspective. It was like the universe was nudging me toward the right path. So here's what I learned. Pay attention to those subtle shifts in your life. They might be small changes in your routine or unexpected opportunities that appear out of nowhere. And here's what I want you to try. The next time you're feeling stuck, instead of pushing harder, take a step back. Give yourself permission to pause and listen. What if we all started embracing those quiet moments as the beginnings of something extraordinary? What if we trusted that stillness isn't emptiness but preparation for our best chapter yet? So go ahead, lean into those moments of calm and see where they lead you. You might just find that your next great adventure is waiting right around the corner. You know, the more I think about it, the more I realize that one of the most powerful signs that your best chapter is about to begin is when you start feeling a sense of restlessness. But here's the twist. This isn't the kind of restlessness that makes you anxious or frustrated. It's more like a gentle nudge from within, telling you that you're ready for something new. I remember talking to a friend who had been in the same job for years. One day, he just couldn't shake off this feeling of wanting more. It wasn't dissatisfaction with his current role, but an internal drive pushing him toward growth. That restlessness led him to pursue an entirely different career path, one where he felt truly fulfilled. Another sign is when you start noticing synchronicities or coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. There's actually a term for this. It's called serendipity. And researchers have found that people who are open to new experiences are more likely to notice these meaningful coincidences. In a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, participants who scored high on openness experienced more serendipitous events, which often led to positive life changes. It's like the universe is aligning things in your favor, urging you to take a leap. Let's talk about another powerful indicator. When you find yourself letting go of things that no longer serve you. This could be old habits, toxic relationships, or even outdated beliefs about yourself. It's like clearing out your closet to make space for a new wardrobe. I once met a woman at a conference who shared her story about leaving behind a corporate job that drained her energy. She told me, it was scary at first, but once I let go of what was holding me back, I felt free to pursue my passion for art. Her decision not only brought her happiness, but also led to a successful art business. And here's something important. When you start embracing vulnerability, that's another sign you're on the cusp of something great. It might seem counterintuitive, but vulnerability is often the birthplace of innovation and creativity. Brené Brown's research on vulnerability highlights how it fosters deeper connections and authentic living. When you're willing to take risks and expose your true self, you open the door to opportunities you might have never imagined. Dive into myth-busting around success. There's a common belief that success is a straight line upward, but in reality, it's more like a roller coaster with ups and downs. Understanding this can be liberating because it means setbacks aren't failures. They're just part of the journey. A study from Harvard Business Review found that resilient people see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, which ultimately leads to greater success in the long run. On that note, Let's discuss how important it is to cultivate a growth mindset. Carol Dweck's groundbreaking work in psychology shows that people who believe their abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work are more likely to achieve their goals. This mindset creates a love for learning and resilience essential for great accomplishments. So if you ever catch yourself thinking you're not good enough or that you're stuck in your ways, remember that growth is always possible. Here's an actionable step. Try keeping a journal where you document both your achievements and setbacks. Reflect on what you've learned from each experience. This practice not only helps you track your progress, but also reinforces the idea that every step, forward or backward, has value. And speaking of setbacks, let's address how to troubleshoot common obstacles when embarking on a new chapter. It's easy to get discouraged by fear of failure or fear of the unknown. One strategy is to break down your goals into smaller, manageable steps. This approach makes daunting tasks seem less overwhelming and allows you to celebrate small wins along the way. Another obstacle many face is self-doubt. To combat this, surround yourself with supportive people who believe in you and your potential. Their encouragement can be invaluable when you're navigating uncharted territory. Remember, every successful person has faced moments of doubt. What sets them apart is their ability to push through those moments. Lastly, let's touch on intuition. Have you ever had a gut feeling about something? That inner voice is often dismissed as irrational, but research suggests otherwise. A study from the University of New South Wales found that intuitive decision-making can be incredibly effective, especially in complex scenarios where analytical thinking falls short. Trusting your intuition can guide you toward decisions that align with your true desires. So as we wrap up our exploration of signs that your best chapter is about to begin, I want you to take away this. Pay attention to those subtle shifts within and around you. Embrace restlessness as a call for change. Recognize serendipities as opportunities in disguise. Let go of what's holding you back, and lean into vulnerability and intuition as sources of strength. Your next great adventure might be just around the corner, waiting for you to step into it with courage and an open heart. Trust that stillness isn't emptiness. It's preparation for something extraordinary. And remember, every ending is just the beginning of something new. So go ahead, listen closely to those whispers from the universe. They might just lead you to your best chapter yet.